tired of feeling confused by mixed signals? Ever felt like you're doing everything right, but still not enough? You're not crazy, you're just not speaking the language of attraction. The truth is, women crave certain things deeply, but they'll never say them out loud. In this video, I'll break down exactly what women want to feel, not what they say they want, and how to embody the kind of presence that makes them magnetically drawn to you. This isn't a pickup guide. This is psychological warfare, emotional control, and masculine edge. Let's begin. Most men are taught wrong. We're told, be nice, be available, be consistent. But here's the harsh truth. What works on paper rarely works in reality. Women are not just logical creatures. They are wired biologically, emotionally, and spiritually to respond to presence, mystery, certainty, and energy. This video is not about manipulation. It's about understanding polarity, the masculine, feminine dynamic, and how most men are repelling women by showing up in the wrong energy. Section 1. The problem why most men get ignored. Let's be brutally honest. You text her too much. You explain yourself too much. You try too hard to please her. You become too available, too emotional, too fast, too invested too early. And guess what? You lose the game before it even starts. Why? Because most men today have forgotten how to be men. We've been raised on emotional approval, TikTok therapy talk, and validation culture. We're disconnected from our primal masculine power. What happens when a man isn't grounded in his masculine energy? He overthinks, he becomes reactive, he gets clingy, he chases. Women don't want to be chased, they want to be drawn in, subconsciously, emotionally, energetically. Section 2. The truth. What women really want. Let's break the illusion. Here's what women secretly crave, but they'll rarely say it. 1. Emotional leadership. She wants a man who leads energy, not follows it. If she's emotional, you don't match her emotion, you ground it, you stabilize the space. You're not just a boyfriend, you're an emotional anchor. When you don't react, when you stay calm while she storms, that's power. That's what makes her feel safe and drawn to you without knowing why. 2. Unavailability but not disinterest. Yes, read that again. She needs to feel like you are selective, not in a manipulative way, but in a self-respecting way. You're on your path, you have purpose. You're not texting her 10 times a day because you have things to do. You don't respond in 2 minutes because your world doesn't revolve around her. This creates tension, and tension is the root of desire. Too much access kills the mystery. Mystery makes her think. Thinking builds desire. 3. A man with purpose over pleasure. She needs to know that your mission comes before her. She doesn't want to be your world. She wants to fit into your world. If you place her above your purpose, she'll lose respect for you. When you show her, not say, but show that your goals, your focus, your mission come first, she becomes drawn to your energy. That's the man she can trust. That's the man she chases. Section 3. Presence, the unspoken superpower. Let's talk about something every masculine man must master. Presence. Presence is the ability to be fully in the moment, non-react, grounded, intentional. When you're with her, are you with her? Or are you in your head, seeking her approval? Most guys aren't present. They're over-analyzing, over-performing, over-talking. A woman knows immediately when you're not in your power. Presence is when you listen without the need to speak. You observe her energy shift without reacting. You hold strong eye contact without flinching. You speak slow, calm, and with certainty. Presence doesn't come from ego. It comes from stillness plus self-trust. That's the type of energy that makes a woman feel seen, safe, and slightly off balance in the best way. Section 4. Detachment, the most attractive trait. Here's the paradox. The moment you stop needing her is the moment she starts needing you. Detachment is not indifference, it's emotional sovereignty. You're not cold, you're just not moved by temporary attention or affection. You're solid, you enjoy her company. But if she walks away tomorrow, you'll still wake up focused. You'll still move with grace. You'll still protect your energy. That's magnetic, that's rare. When a woman feels that you want her but don't need her, that your attention is valuable but not free, she will treat your presence like a privilege. Section 5. The deeper level energy speaks louder than words. A man's energy says more than his words. You can say, I'm confident, I'm busy, I'm not desperate. But if your vibe says the opposite, she senses it. Women are tuned into energy. It's biological. It's survival. They evolved to sense safety, strength, intention. So how do you change your energy? You live with discipline, you have direction, you build your body, mind, and money. You embrace discomfort, you walk away when your standards aren't met. When you do this not for her, but for you, you carry the kind of energy that makes her rethink her standards. You become the standard. Section 6, SELF respect, the foundation of masculinity. You want her to respect you. Start by respecting yourself. Set boundaries. Keep your word. Stop explaining yourself. Stop chasing temporary highs. Don't argue with people who already lost the privilege of your presence. The more you respect yourself, the less you tolerate games, and guess what? Women are tired of men who have no backbone. They want someone who knows what he stands for, who walks away instead of trying harder when disrespected, who doesn't beg, doesn't bend, doesn't break. A man who respects himself is a man who's already won. But here's the truth most never tell you. Women are not impressed by loudness. Not the guy who brags. Not the one who fakes confidence by trying to control every room. They want emotional presence, not just performance. They want to feel seen, not just watched. They want to feel safe, not just entertained. The deep craving, emotional safety, and masculine groundedness. You see, beneath the surface of what society tells us, women want money, looks, status. There's something even deeper. A man who can stay centered when the world spins out of control. A man whose mood doesn't depend on the weather or a text back. A man who listens, not just to reply but to understand. When a woman senses that presence in you, that stillness, she relaxes, she breathes, she trusts. Because now, she doesn't have to perform either. She can be, she can soften, she can be vulnerable, and that's rare. The biggest shift most men miss. Here's where the game changes. When you stop trying to be the man she wants, and start becoming the man you admire, you win. Why? Because women are not looking for someone to fill a role. They're drawn to someone who has a role already, a mission, a rhythm, a life that's in motion. Not obsessed with impressing her, not chasing validation, not constantly seeking attention. A man with purpose is dangerous because he's not needy. She'll test you, she'll challenge you. Why? Not to break you, but to see if your center is real. Stoic masculinity. Stillness attracts. Remember this. A calm man can walk into a chaotic room and instantly shift the atmosphere. That's stoic masculinity. Not robotic, not cold, but calm, clear, focused. When you're grounded in your core, you don't react to everything. You don't argue just to be right. You don't chase. You don't over-explain. You don't fold under pressure. You speak with intention. You move with conviction. And silence becomes a powerful language in your arsenal. What women say in private, ask any woman what made her fall. Really fall. She say, he made me feel like I could trust myself around him. He didn't try to fix me. He held space. He saw through my walls and didn't run. That's not about your outfit. That's not about your bank balance. That's energy. And you cultivate it by learning to sit in solitude, by facing your shadows, by building your own table instead of begging for a seat at someone else's. Vulnerability without weakness. Let's talk real. A lot of men fear vulnerability because they think it means being soft or exposed. But hear this. Vulnerability isn't weakness. Vulnerability is clarity without apology. It means you can speak your truth without shaking. It means you can cry without shame. It means you can say I'm not okay and still hold the room. That is powerful, and women, they notice, they feel when a man has done his inner work. It's in his eyes, his presence, his patience. Stop seeking. Start becoming. You keep asking what women want, but that question is a distraction. Ask this instead. Who am I becoming? What kind of life am I building? Would I want to follow a man like me? Because when your energy is aligned, when your habits are right, when your emotions are disciplined, she will come. Not because you begged, not because you played tricks, but because you're finally magnetic, because your frequency now matches depth. A woman will mirror you. Let's break it down. If you're insecure, she mirror uncertainty. If you're whole, she mirror openness. If you lead with clarity, she'll flow with trust. Stop looking at women as puzzles to decode, and start looking at yourself as the one who sets the tone, your frame, your focus, your freedom. There's a reason the quiet guy with vision attracts the world. He's not busy, he's building. Women feel that. They feel when your time is sacred. They feel when your presence is a privilege, not a free-fall. So protect your frame. Guard your energy. Let your silence do the heavy lifting. Say less, mean more. Tired of guessing what women want? Start listening to what your life is trying to tell you. Your clarity, your focus, your healed masculine presence. That's the answer. Don't overtalk, don't overgive. Just become undeniable. The right woman doesn't need noise. She just needs to feel something real. And if you keep becoming that man, the one who's rooted, not reaching, the one who's silent, not submissive, the one who's full, not chasing, she'll hear you without a word. And that's when you'll know she wanted this all along.